this area, which is underneath our secondary escapeway, the big wall up here. We're cutting a little bit more out of this area. You can see it's very white back in here. We're cutting larger walls. You can see up to 20 feet tall. We'll start by coming in with our chainsaws and undercutting the bottom. Then we'll go up on top and drill a hole down to match that, lace a diamond wire through it, and you can see we've got a wire cutting right here. And we'll cut them down and then bring over the larger walls and then cut these walls according to quality. It's different than we did years ago, but we get a bigger choice of where to get the quality blocks from, and it's a much simpler operation. All right, we're back here in this area now that we call A section, which is back in the back behind the curtains. We're overlooking one of the main production areas right now. You can see they're moving some blocks around down below in what we call the keyhole. This area has some of our best gold vein material, so we're working that pretty heavily right now. Right below us here is an area that we call A ramp. And this used to be our ramp down into this area, but we removed the ramp and we're bringing out these blocks, and they're mostly the good white, solid white marble, very little veining, but very pure and white. You can also see in this area how we've turned the quarry to be cut differently. You can see on these walls where they're mostly east, west, north and south, but you can see by the floor area down below here that we've turned the quarry to an angle, and so that allows us to follow the angle of the veining, so it gives us a better quality block all the way around. Much easier to quarry, and the blocks are more consistent. We're down in the area now we call the keyhole. You can see down here at the bottom we're working on a lot of different things in this area, cutting a few different walls. We're actually having one of the chainsaws work right below me here, undercutting what we're standing on, about 10 feet back. So it's operating right down here and cutting this part. We've got the wire saw over here trimming a large block that we just brought out from the corner over there. We've also already undercut this area right over here, so we'll be taking this wall out next. We've got some of this area across the way already undercut so that we can go all the way to the wall on the west, and then we'll start taking out that whole area in 20-foot tall walls and bringing them over and cutting them up. You can see we've come down about 3 or 4 levels in the last few years, so it comes down about 1 level per year or so. And you can see we've got it very good. You can see all the way up into the area we call Little Italy. So there's a lot of areas that you can see working at one time. We're in an area that's called Little Italy. It's one of our newest production areas. Years ago, this was about right up to the ceiling. In the last couple of years, we've taken it down this much here, and now we're starting to expand out. Over here to my left, we're starting to go this way, which is to the north. Has some very good gold vein material, very nice here. So we're going to sweep through this area, and then we'll be working our way to the north from here, out toward the front of the quarry. We've reached just about the back of the quarry here. There's some a lot of rock and other type stuff that is starting to mix in with the marble, so we feel this is the end of the deposit. But you can see we've come as much as we can in here, then we're going to expand out. Off to the south here on my right, we're going to widen this area out also so we can start bringing the floor areas down and get all this good material that's down below us here. You see we've got different machines working here. We've got a couple of our gallery chainsaws that actually make the tunnels. We're also running a drill here that will drill a hole down 20 feet to the next level, and then we'll start wire sawing this area out. And hopefully we can expand this way a little more, take a little more of this, and then move our access road over to our left-hand side here, and then be able to take out this area that we're standing on. We're up here in our new area now. We're calling this the Lincoln Quarry, and you can see this is about 25 foot into the mountain here. The material is just awesome. You can see the veining in this material. It's just beautiful. You'd love to have that in your bathrooms. And what we're waiting for is trying to get past some of the fractures that you can see on the face here, and some areas where we've had to drill it and pin it so that none of the pieces fall out while we're cutting. And we're thinking that maybe one or two more walls forward and we'll have savable material here, and this area will work out for us, which is actually very good, even for as near to the surface as it is. You know, you just can't beat this to already start producing blocks. So this was our goal, and it looks like it's going to work out for us very well. As you know, this quarry started over 100 years ago, being worked, and they worked down in Portal 1, Portal 2, and Portal 3 back in the early 1900s. And here we are now, 2012, starting a brand new quarry just above the others. And it's a different technology than they use to start their quarries. You can see there's no blasting involved, no real dangerous work. It's all done with a hydraulic machine that's just a big chainsaw, cutting out big squares going into the mountain. We're trying to keep it small and narrow right now so that there's a lot of structure around us to support us. When we get in about another 40 feet or so, we'll be able to expand down and make this into a large quarry.